Good evening and welcome to tonight's show from DJNTV, Disc Jockey News TV. Tonight's show is brought to you by Electra Voice, DJ Event Planner, DJ Trivia, Odyssey Innovative Designs and Cases, NLFX Professional, Promo Only, and the DJNTV Insiders.
DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us on this Monday night. And of course, John has to do it to us just like that. I'm telling you, for those of you that are wondering what's going on, every week, without fail, we're talking, we're hanging out, we're just having a good time. And John doesn't give us any warning till all of a sudden it's like 2, 1, go now, like just now. But anyway, thank you very much for joining us on this Monday night. For those of you who did not look at the title below, we're going to be talking about DJ Expo this year. And of course, we've got the show coming up 1 week from today. It all kicks off. And we thought, as we usually like to do, give you a little preview of some of the things that are going to be going on, give you some tips and some tricks, and especially for those of you who may be joining us at the Expo for your first time, give you some of those ideas of things you want to watch out for, or just even bring so that you're prepared as best you can be. Because I know, like, when I went my first time, I knew nothing. I still really don't, but I pretend to. But I didn't really know as much, and so I just kind of showed up. And had I had something like this, I hopefully would have been a little bit better prepared than I was. But on that note, thank you very much for joining us. And look, MJ's with us this week.
Who? That guy.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You know, when I was grabbing my shirt, by the way, I grabbed my DJ Expo shirt. I was about ready to go grab my MJ shirt.
Well, see, the thing is, tonight, John had given me some old DJNTV shirts, and I was like, well, I know those guys are either going to wear, they're probably going to wear the DJNTV Insider shirt. I said, so maybe I'll wear one of the other ones. And then I'm like, nah, I'll fit in tonight.
But wait, we need to fit in too, so.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Now we're good. Now we're good.
Wow. Okay. And we have reached a whole new level here on Disc Jockey News of something that I don't know the name of it. Is it mockery? Is it complimentary? Is it?
It's the reverence for.
Reverence. Wow.
That's going to age me again, isn't it?
That was his word of the day.
No, that was probably jinkies. That might have been my word for the day. But anyway.
Janky. Do you know what janky means?
No, jinkies, like as in jinkies from Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo.
Come on.
I thought you meant like janky, as in like doesn't work very well. It's all janky.
That could be that too, but no, this is a jinky thing. All right, so we have DJ Expo we're talking about. Hey, for those of you out there joining us all over the internet, we are broadcasting to 9 different channels tonight, so there's people watching us all over. I think as of right now, we just broke 90-some people watching the video. So I just put the link for the YouTube. That's where we're going to be following the most. I can see your comments on the different channels, and I'll try to reply to the comments, or we can dig into those. So if you're watching on Facebook, you can comment. It's just that MJ and Dan aren't going to see you. I will, because I have all the comments that funnel into this one little cool area, which is pretty kind of neat to do.
I was actually going to go somewhere and help you out, but since you got that rolling,
you guys got it.
So yeah, we got a lot of Reggie. I'd see Jimmy and Rez and Gus and Rick. Rick Webb is on there. Thanks for being with us tonight. So where do we want to start? There's a lot to cover.
There is.
There is.
So it's at Harrah's, for those of you who still haven't figured it out. By the way, if for some reason you're contemplating still going, let's go ahead and give the initial plug here. If you're contemplating still thinking about going, you haven't bought your tickets yet, you can head on over, check out facebook.com and go to the DJ Times, or it might even be the DJ Expo event page. Was that?
DJExpo.com.
Well, no, that's the website. I'm talking about the Facebook, because when you go to the Facebook page, there is a promo code that they are still offering, and it is good until Friday for $199 on all access passes.
Now that full pass will get you into the educational, the parties, and the exhibit hall. If you just want to go to the exhibit hall, they have that pass also available. And if you want to just come to that and a chill event, well, there's no charge to come to the chill event because that's happening Tuesday night.
Yeah.
But I will steal your French fries if you get French fries.
That's
true.
You know that now. That's true. If you bring food and we haven't eaten, it's fair game. I'm just saying.
Only get French fries if MJ's spinning.
Yeah, because I won't touch food when I'm spinning because I hate getting like greasy stuff on it. It's like I hate that. I could be literally starving and I'm like, I'm not going to eat till I'm done touching my turntable, my controller.
MJ, here I got a cheeseburger for you. Want it? No, it's okay. I'll eat it for you.
But again, the chill event, that's Tuesday night. It's going to kick off at 8:00 down at the Irish Pub on the boardwalk, or I guess I should say just off the boardwalk in behind Ripley's, believe it or not, is where the restaurant itself is. We'll be on the back patio hanging out. And if for some reason it rains, we've got DJs who are going to hold the tarps up very well again this year.
Fabulous crew of
just to kind of throw it out, if some of you are wondering, like, why are we calling it the chill event? A lot of times when you go to these shows and you go to the different parties, it's DJs mixing hardcore, they're scratching, they're doing all these extra kind of things, and they're blasting you with a lot of sound. So while you might see some of those tricks, especially if MJ's doing it, you're not going to be blasted to the point you can't talk to the people that are around you. So you'll be able to hear it, you'll be able to hang out, you'll be able to have some fun, and enjoy the music. But again, not kind of like an in-your-face, oh my gosh, like my ears are bleeding type of thing. Speaking of which, tip number 1 for tonight is to make sure that you are bringing quality ear protection. Even if it's the cheap stuff, something, because when you go onto the showroom floor, and I think I saw Rick Webb who mentioned this in the chat room, what's the sound reinforcement, or what's the sound level going to be on the showroom floor? It's just loud. It's going to be loud. We know it's going to be loud. Some years it's a little bit better than others. It starts out okay, and by the end of the day, it's extremely loud. So if you have something, pop them in your ears. Just give yourself some of that protection while you're walking around, so you don't walk out and just go, oh my gosh, I've got a killer headache now.
The ears ringing for the next day and a half. Yeah, it happens. It happens there
very easily, unfortunately. Yeah,
just following chat.
So I'll tell you what. Let's kind of, if you're cool with this, let's kind of go beginning of the week and go through to the end of the week.
Excellent.
Perfect. So one thing that I would recommend, for if you haven't set this up, it's probably a good idea, unless you live extremely close, to go ahead and plan on coming in on Sunday night. If you haven't set that up, you might want to go ahead and do so. I know my first year, I drove down like that morning, and I did not realize that the thing goes basically from, I think the first one kicks off 10 o'clock.
10:30 is in room 17.
Thank you.
With the kickoff and networking session.
And it goes until the end of the day. But you're going to want to get there a little bit early, because even if you pre-register and do all that kind of stuff, you still have to get your badge. We don't need the stinking badges. Yes, you do. Get your badges and then go on in to be able to check out the show and the seminars and all that. So don't plan on showing up at 10:30 going, I'm just going to walk in. You've got to be in a line and get the stuff that you need. If you pre-register, it helps. It moves things along, but it's still a process. You still have to be aware of it. So the very first thing is the kickoff session, and as John mentioned, 10:30 goes till
11 o'clock.
So just a little half an hour thing. But here's where you want to bring your business cards. Tip number 2, if you've got old business cards that have all correct information, feel free to unload them at the kickoff. This is a tip that I always share every year, and everybody gets a kick out of this. But I've got my brand new cards. I've also got a box of cards that I updated, but all the information is the same. So it's kind of like an old style. So if I want to give them to other DJs because to keep in touch and kind of, network and stuff like that, they can get all that information from the old card. And I'm not giving out my current stack that I use when I'm connecting with couples and people at events. So if you've got that, great. If you're using a virtual card, even better. A lot of the DJs now are starting to pick up on that. But one of the things that happens during this networking session, they'll say, hey, go meet 5 people that you haven't ever talked to and say hi and give them your card and connect later on.
So let's decide right now, how frugal is it for Dan to be using his 1992 business cards?
I know.
And they're in nice pastel colors from back then.
The one that has that graphic of the guy who's spinning and he's like,
yeah, the silhouette.
No. It's the headphones over the logo. That's all it is.
You didn't.
Well, see, Dan, you're killing my whole plan for the expo this year because I'm getting new business cards tomorrow that are not only business cards, but they're business cards on one side, sticker on the other.
Yeah.
So if anyone's interested in one of my new sticker cards, I'll have those. I will not be handing out the old ones unless you want one of the old ones.
And I was going to up my game this year and use both red and blue color crayon on the toilet paper that I write my phone number on.
Awesome.
Really
toilet paper,
up the game.
Unused.
2-ply even.
Ooh.
Up in the game. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
At least use marker, John, so people have they can go marker.
Well, the problem with marker though is if they happen to run into that emergency where they need to use the 2-ply, it leaves extra stains where the wax doesn't typically stain.
Please change the subject, Daniel.
I have no idea where we can go.
Rick,
I don't think we're going to sneak in Sunday night like we did last year.
What's that?
Posted that in the YouTube.
Wink, wink.
Where?
Yeah. It was on YouTube. I don't know, just a little bit back, but
it's to sneak in and give you guys a teaser Sunday night.
No, we didn't get into the showroom floor. Obviously, they weren't even really setting up yet.
Yeah.
But we got into where the registration area was. We started walking around. We were able to see where the rooms were going to be. We got all that kind of tip. We technically weren't supposed to be in there, and they actually had a security person. But we said, listen, we're not trying to see anything. Like, we're not trying to get into a room. We just want to know where we're going since we've never been here before. And they were completely cool about it. I think it had been somebody else, they wouldn't have been as cool. So don't try and force your way into an area, but you can check it out. It is by the whole seminar area. Harris is kind of a big place. It's next to the entrance for the pool. So when you're looking for where you're going to go, the convention area is right next to that.
So you're saying it's difficult to get into these rooms before some of these things open. Challenge accepted.
I have many videos of them.
This.
So tip number 3, if you've got extra money, please bring it for bail for John.
John gets into Atlantic City early this year. As far as I'll be there Sunday about 1 o'clock, somewhere in that ballpark, 1-2 o'clock. So I have all afternoon. Oh, this is going to be absolutely fun.
Remember, John, most of the manufacturers are not really starting to set up or really doing majority of their setups until Monday.
That is true.
And so sneaking into a empty room is not really going to do you a whole lot.
Okay, fine. Okay, so where are we up to 11 o'clock on Monday yet?
Sure, we are now. So I will say this is one of those seminars that I am excited to see. Michael Walter is back. He's doing a seminar for those of you that were at Mobile Beat. So this is one thing that we will say in the past, a lot of our shows a lot of the conferences have said, you know what, if you're presenting this topic over here, you've got to do something different over here. That's not the case for this one. And I'm personally, it might be selfish on my part, but I'm glad for that because this is one seminar that I wanted to see. I didn't make it to Mobile Beat. He's going to talk about, why people dance and what DJs can do to maximize their experience. So kind of what's going to get people out of their seat, what's going to be going, and not just like talking about, okay, well, this song will work, but more the philosophy behind it and using that to our advantage.
And let me, because I actually sat in on part of this with Mike, and when I before Mobile Beat, and I saw the title, and it's like, that's kind of a lame title. I love Mike, but I thought it was a lame title. It's like, what huh? He goes into a couple of aspects during his presentation of identifying and categorizing, for lack of a better way to describe it, your room. Not only your dancers, but the other people within your room, and being able to use that as a gauge for success of what you're doing. And MJ, we've talked about this on some shows and such in the past of your different types of people and playing to not just your dancers. And he breaks that down in such a great way for Mobile Beat.
I would say that you have to look at the real estate in the room. Think about that too. It's what area is dedicated for what, how much area is dedicated for what, and that will change how you spin the music, the songs you play, to manipulate as a place that's wide open as opposed to a place that's kind of closed or a place that's off to the side. And it's all psychological.
Yeah, and he really digs into that and spells it out very, very well. So the title, well, could be a little bit more exciting or more specific to kind of give you an idea of the value of this. This was the hidden gem at Mobile Beat. There's no other way to describe it. There were some good speakers there, but this was probably the best presentation at Mobile Beat, and Mike did it. Mike does a great job anyway, but he just for usable information really took it over the top. So that one, I agree, Dan. It's going to be one that I plan to hit on Monday in full.
Definitely. So then we come into our first problem, if you will, that happens at Expo that doesn't happen at some of the other conferences. And that's where you've got multiple seminars that are happening at the same time. So what we end up having at 12:30 going on until 2 o'clock inside the analytics, so how to analyze numbers on Google, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Jordan St. Jacques. This guy is doing, I think, a total of 4 different seminars, one each day throughout. I saw him last year. I went to a couple of his last year. He talks a lot, but a lot of good information. However, I will say this: be prepared, because the one key element is to succeed in what he's doing. He has a software that he wants you to use, and so this is one of those.
Does it?
What was that? No, it doesn't start with an M. No, because we said that, you actually have to be able to use it, and it works.
No.
But what I would say with this is I wish in some ways that this was listed, and a lot of his other ones were listed as a sponsored seminar, because I got that feeling. Maybe if we go this year, it's going to be a little bit different. I have a buddy of mine who sat in on this specific one last year, or it was on Google Analytics, got a lot of great topics, would not use the software, so maybe didn't get the full effect of what Jordan was talking about, but had some success with it almost like the next day. So there is some good stuff. Just be prepared to get the most out of it. He's going to want you to do the software.
Sure.
So if you don't like that Jordan, there's another Jordan who's going to talk about how you can be cool. And I think it's Jordan Marshall. This guy, if you have not yet met him, you walk into a room, look for the second best dressed person there, because the best dressed is going to be Marcello. And if you haven't met Marcello yet, you'll know what I'm talking about. All the ladies, find the guy that they're staring at. That's Marcello. But Jordan's a very cool guy, very neat. And obviously he's going to be talking about how you can pick up some tools and some tricks to be a little bit cooler in your game, because our brides want that. They want that cool DJ. That's why, MJ is still struggling with brides.
Ouch.
Both in the business world and the personal world.
Just pull that knife.
I was
back
really just going for
out.
personal, but hey, if you're going to go business too, that's all you.
Yeah. Hey, you can't beat me at beating me.
Jeff missed this.
The link for Jordan Marshall for his Facebook page, you guys want to follow him, because he does some really cool
You were going to say the link for Hassling MJ.
No. Jordan Marshall's link is I just shared that in the chat there, so you guys can go out and pop out and check out Jordan. Follow his page. Really a great person, and a lot of neat ideas when you start watching some of his videos on there on what he's doing for performance and promotion and branding.
Nice. All right. By the way, if you've noticed, I haven't talked anything about Expo floor, about the showroom floor. That's because on Monday they are not open.
It's all
So
set
be
up.
aware of that. 2 o'clock, we've got Jerry Bazada. Jerry's back this year. He took a year off last year. Wasn't at the Expo for I don't know what the reason was. He told me at one point, but Jerry has a very big financial background. In fact, he has a full-time job, or at least had a full-time job in the banking financial realm. And so in addition to being a DJ and doing very serious with his business, he has that side to it, and he's willing to share that. I will tell you, I love Jerry, but his seminar is going to be a little bit dry, but you are going to get a ton of great financial tips that can help you and will be fantastic advice for you. So if you're looking, and his is actually how your DJ business can survive an economic downturn. So definitely, if you get an opportunity, go check it out. Good stuff. Like I said, a little dry, so just be prepared for that. but definitely good.
This is actually one of them. I probably wouldn't have put much into going to this particular one 4 or 5 months ago. But if you've been following a lot of the economic forecasts and the whole industry and economy, they're talking about that economic downturn coming up shortly. And it would be interesting to see how Jerry is going to present that. And we, as small business people, how he's recommending besides having a ton of money sitting in the bank, how do we get through that? So I'm expecting, if it's a little dry, that's quite all right. I'll have a cup of coffee, but I will. This is one I want to hit on Monday and give you guys a report on what Jerry brought to the table.
So then we get into another conflict. So if you, all of us gearheads at 2:30 to 3:30, they're doing the latest tech for DJs. They've got a couple of the different retailers from the area or the greater area around Atlantic City, and they're going to be presenting about the newest and latest tips for technology for club, for mobile, and for studio DJs. And so it's kind of a Q&A. Jim Tremaine is going to be leading that. It's going to be a great time. And especially if you kind of want to know what might be on the horizon, what might be coming, or what just has come out, and kind of get some knowledge from these guys who are selling it because they've got their hands on it. This would be a great opportunity for you to do so. Then what do we got? Managing reactions from start to finish. So Fox Feltman from down in North Carolina. This is a guy who last year came in. I was pretty impressed with the seminar he gave last year. He talked about how he does things, what he uses to be able to get people moving to the dance floor. This time he's talking more about gauging reactions and how to be able to use them and kind of create them throughout the night to be able to get what you're looking for. So more than just what am I trying to say? Reading a crowd, but being able to take it that next step and utilizing it in a great way. 4 to 5, Pioneer is doing a seminar that is going to be debuting a new piece of equipment that they have. In fact, not only that, not are they going to talk about it, and that's majority of the time. MJ's laughing because he's heard about it already. Kind of got the
Videos.
Oh, even videos.
Yeah.
Wow.
Somebody,
so if you did not,
a friend of mine hit me up today. Said, "Hey, did you see this picture from this thing?" And I'm like, "Actually, last Monday, I saw a video."
So the new device from Pioneer, they're coming out with, we know at least one controller, and that is.
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Well, it didn't come from Pioneer source though.
No. So if you go to like Twitter and just search for the name of that illustrious device that we can't talk about, there's lots of stuff out there just by searching a public thing for just that name.
Well, Pioneer is not a sponsor of our show. Pioneer is not a.
But they could be, because
they could be. They're going to actually. I've got an appointment Tuesday. They're going to run us through the new 1000, what it's going to do, and all the different features of it. And you guys are going to get to see that Tuesday night, because we're going to drop that video Tuesday night. But that will be the new device, and there's a bunch of different letters with it, and I don't know what it all is, but it's basically a big brother of one of their current controllers. So
no,
it's addition to.
It's giving the same thing they had before to one more software brand. The one they had before worked with Rekordbox or Virtual. This one works with Serato. Exactly.
Well, we know that because that was listed on the name of the.
Yeah, that's literally all there is.
That's it.
That's it. I mean, there's some buttons on it and stuff, but it's the fact that the buttons that are on there are tailored. Am I even allowed to say these things?
What are they gonna take your birthday
the
away?
Buttons that are on there are tailored more towards what most controllers that guys who use Serato use. The effects buttons in a certain place, the cue buttons in a certain place, the headphone things in a certain place. It's very tailored towards that, where the Rekordbox one was not tailored towards all those things, didn't have all the effects buttons and stuff like that. So it's just a little different. And also, I'm going to bet that the new one will work with Virtual also, since Virtual works with both, works with pretty much everything. But it is it's not revolutionary. And I am going to call out GK, the DJ, for saying me not being critical. I'm being honest, because there's so much in this industry where people are like, oh, it's game changing, it's this, it's that. Well, no. Stop saying game changing. It's still it's the same thing that was before.
That's right.
So-
if we're going to talk
Not
game
critical.
changing,
You thought you were being cryptic by
Cryptic.
not naming it. Whatever.
oh, cryptic.
Cryptic. Sorry, dude. Oh
no,
my.
just letting you know there was a
Cryptic.
difference.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Yes, cryptic. I am being cryptic because I don't know if I'm allowed to say because I want them to be friends with me. I want them to send me stuff to test. That's what I'm trying to do. That's sorry, dude. I'm so sorry. I'm going to shut up now.
Oh my goodness. So anyway, at the end of the thing, they're going to give one of those devices away, and they legitimately do that. And you can get the equipment, and 2 years later, you might still have it.
What was that?
I still have those speakers, dude.
You never got sold those.
No.
Say we're having a
Have you
throwdown
used
competition.
What was that?
We're
Have you used them?
No. Nope, they're in box. In box.
I carried those for you.
I know. I tried to sell them, and nobody wanted them.
I'll trade you.
Let's talk later.
I'll trade you a 7,000 that's going to be coming back from repair here soon with brand new buttons, brand new crossfaders.
I will take you up on that.
When it comes back, though, so I won't have it for the Expo because I thought I would, but it's still at the repair place. Well, we can if we want to take a 2-hour drive in New Jersey, the repair shop's in New Jersey. We can go pick it up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so at 4:30, you've got Tony Fernandez, who's going to be talking about how to go about building the proper sound system. A lot of us, we kind of found the gear we liked. We thought we found some speakers we liked, but we really didn't go, hey, is that going to fulfill what I'm looking for? Or did I just find something that I thought, hey, that sounds good. Let's get that. So he's going to be talking about that and finding the right solutions for you. I think what's really cool is there's a lot of these on Monday that are really prepping you for Tuesday when it comes time for the Expo. Just because, I mean, you're going to find out, and then you can go down on Tuesday and be able to buy the stuff that you need then to.
Can I ask a question, Dan?
Yeah.
Because I'm the opposite of you. I'm rarely there on Monday, or at least early on Monday. For a person like yourself who wants to go to seminars, how is the feeling of going to a seminar on Monday when there's no showroom, there's just other seminars to choose from as opposed to Monday Tuesday, having showroom, seminars, open rooms to go visit stuff, parties, stuff like that. Do you feel that the seminars on Monday you get more out of, or does it not really matter?
In the past, I feel like Monday has always been a great day for seminars. And I think they kind of front load it with a lot of top quality ones because they want you to come in, they want you to be a part of it. And they also don't want, when the showroom floor opens, they want their manufacturers to see all these people. And if you're up in a room, you're not down on the showroom floor. So there's a lot more holes on Tuesday and Wednesday than there is on Monday. I mean, if you can legitimately start on Monday and go from seminar to seminar to seminar to seminar without stopping. Now you might not get the one you want, but without stopping. And Tuesday, that's not necessarily the case, and the same with Wednesday. Speaking of which, this is another tip for those of you that are new to the seminar game. Do not feel like when you start in a seminar room that you have to stay there the entire time. All right. Obviously, legitimately, it would be nice if you did. And if the information is quality, then obviously you want to. But if you get into one and you're sitting there and you go, you know what? I'm not sure if I'm really getting out of this what I want to get out of it. I need to go. I'd rather go over and listen to so-and-so instead because I thought their topic was great, but I was trying to decide between the two. Go to the other one. Go get that other input. Same deal. If you think, coming late is still acceptable. Now, the one exception I will say is like the Pioneer one. They're kind of like, if you join us halfway through, you don't get in on the drawing. You still see the equipment, but you don't get in on the drawing.
Right.
But, with your regular seminars, coming late is better than not coming at all. So
on Monday, MJ, just to add a little bit with that, I think the people who are in attendance at the seminars on Monday are, I don't want to say more serious, but there is more of an attention, a higher level of attention paid to the content of the seminars on Mondays. Part of that is because Monday night there's a party, and now you've had your first night in a hotel, so Tuesday you're going to be tired a little bit, maybe slightly hungover. Then we have the exhibit hall, which that excitement, and you've got all these. There's just more, as you were alluding to. There's just more distractions. So the Monday there's almost a different feel. And some shows I've been to, it's almost like it feels like two completely different shows between day one and exhibit hall day two.
Cool.
Game changing.
Yeah. So Monday night, I skipped over the PV. PV talks about how to help teach the next generation. That's their seminar. That's gonna be the last one of the day on Monday. Monday night, of course, you want to go grab some food somewhere, and then they've got the opening performance. It's gonna be in the pool at Harrah's again. And I heard just today, Mike Walter, and I'm forgetting who the other one is like the opening acts before kind of like the official like kickoff party.
Oh,
I listen. I will tell you this: when it comes to DJ parties, especially when ones like this, expect what a lot of us end up doing, and that's we all go and we look like this, and we watch the person DJing the whole night. Like there's some dancing that's going
no,
on.
we do this.
That's true. Yes, we either had that or we had the phone out.
No, John, we do this.
There we go. You now have seen all three different DJ Expo poses.
But it's a good time. And Mike Walter did a set last year, just all Prince songs, and it was phenomenal what he was able to do. I mean, if you've ever tried to just mix straight Prince, sometimes the tempos are a little crazy and you're going high, you're going fast, and he just blended them beautifully. So, definitely want to check him out, as well as I forget who the other one is, and I apologize for whoever that was. But then they have the opening kickoff party, and that's all it is. It's not, in the past, it was kind of like a preview for the entertainer of the year, but not so much the last year, at least. So that's Monday. Excellent. A lot on Monday.
So Monday night, if things work out, we're going to try to get together with a few of the DJNTV people who are on site, and we're going to try to do a live show from DJ Expo to give you guys kind of a wrap up of day one from DJ Expo. Where we will be broadcasting from, I do not know, because I don't remember where the internet was decent. But we'll find a spot, and we'll post that link on the insiders of where we will be in the insider area and on DJNTV's Facebook page, and probably on my personal one too. But that we'll try to do Monday night. No idea of time yet. It'll depend on when Dan and I can get together and whoever can then jump on with us. So,
if I remember correctly, John, we did outside of the showroom, like right in the registration area.
Okay.
That's
right.
Had a decent one. Well, we ran into that with that one means you had a battery issue.
That's right.
That's at the end.
Yep, the microphone.
There's actually a room off to the side there that I helped someone out with an interview. We should maybe talk to see somebody if we could rent it for an hour or have it for an hour. It's like literally if you're facing the doors going into the showroom, it's off to the left, and it's just a little conference room there.
Well, we'll find something on Monday.
There we go.
Excellent.
So, Tuesday. Going to jump into Tuesday, and we're not going to spend as much time as we did talking about each of the days. I mean, we'd be here for like 3 hours if we did that. But Tuesday, a couple keynotes to make you aware of. Again, we talked. There's a little bit more gaps in some of the schedules because they want you down on that expo floor. That's what starts. It starts at noon. It goes until 6. Yeah, it goes until 6. And so that's where you're going to see all the latest gear. You're going to see all what the manufacturers are wanting to promote. We'll start with this. 10 o'clock. Is the first of the sponsored seminars of the day. Jeremy Breck is in doing his thing with Chevet DJ. If you want to see, I'll be honest, when I went last year, I really didn't know what to expect because I've seen Jeremy's stuff. I've seen video that he's done. I've seen, and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to do what he does. He starts out with that presentation. He built it very nicely. I'll show him basically, if you're at this level, you can do it here. If you're at this level here, if you're at this level here, and kind of showing the complete gamut. And then he kind of says, okay, and I use these devices to get that effect. Not saying you have to use these devices, but oftentimes people want to know, hey, what's being used? So it is a sponsored. You will hear about Chevet products. But I will also say, because of that seminar, I went down to the showroom floor later and ended up buying 2 Chevet Wash FX2s because I saw what they could do and not what I saw them do in videos.
Or
like when I saw
the
product videos, they looked like a cool sound effect light, and that was it. And Jeremy was using it for washes and ceilings and spreads, and I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. You'll see some out of the box types of mentality. Next tip here is if you want to be able to get on the showroom floor and you want to be able to get the swag, although I haven't really heard much about it this year as far as people putting stuff out, you want to make sure you show up at 12:15. Doors open at 12. Neither of you caught that? Really?
I'm trying to see how you're making this connection. The doors open at 12, 12:15.
12:15 would be so that you could still get in. Yeah, he wants them to show up after
I was
him.
going to say that, yeah, because I know you're going to be in line at like 11:30, and you're going to be pushing your way to the front, and then you're going to be like, "Whoa, did I drop $100 bill over there?" Just as the doors open, everyone looks, and Dan runs from booth to booth, grabbing anything that looks like swag. So, in other words, if there are like small children sitting by the table, and he thinks it's swag, it's in his pocket.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I will not take any more kids. Definitely not. I'm not you, John. So with that, I will say this. No, in all seriousness, you don't need to show up at 11:30. I did that one year where I was there so early, and then you legitimately just stand there waiting, and you're like one of 10 people. There's the door when the doors open. It's a double set of doors, and there's plenty of room to get through, and it opens up to expansive room. So depending upon which way you go. What I would recommend is if you legitimately want something that one of the companies is giving away, find your floor plan ahead of time and just be prepared to go there when you get in. And you could be the 100th person through the door. You could be the 200th person through the door. And if you go to that booth first, you're going to be fine. All right. Most of these businesses bring enough to at least accommodate that. Now, if you wait until 12:30, no, you're probably not going to get the free stuff that they had. But again, you don't have to show up at 11:30. I've done it where I've been there. I went to Jeremy's seminar last year. I went down after it. His ends at 11:45. I went down after it. It's just downstairs. I got outside of it probably by 11:50. So I waited 10 minutes in the line, and I was still probably one of the first 40 people through the door. And I didn't play the $100 trick. It was
No, you just kind of pushed your way through. Hey, get out of my way there, old guy. And it's like, hey, Dan, it's me.
Yeah, sometimes it happens. If you're wanting to do country music, this is a seminar that comes back every year. This is definitely not one MJ would want to go to, and before all the stuff happens in the chat room about it. But it does tell you that if you would like to get into that market, there is a lot of possibility for money to be made with it. And Alan and his crew do a great job. I've not personally sat in it, but I've heard a lot of great things about it. So definitely want to check that out. 1 o'clock. So again, the overlapping thing does still happen. So even though it's not Monday, you're still having a little bit of an overlap. But if you ever wanted to add live music, if you didn't want to be just one single element, but checked out different videos online. Brandon, how do you say the last name? Havarilla?
Oh, is Havarilla? Is he doing this one? I'm trying to see the name.
No, he's not doing it, but he's an example of one where he plays along very, very frequently. So he's one that comes to mind immediately when I think of somebody who does this. Mm-hmm. But talking about how you do it, it's actually an event group that's presenting it. New Jersey's Elegant Music Group is the one who's doing the seminar. So it's not one person, but their company that's coming forward with this. And so I think it'd be pretty cool, especially if that's something you're thinking about doing. But I will say this goes against probably one of the two top seminars that gets attended. And that's the party games. Jake is doing that from 1 till 2:30. Even if you don't do games, even if you never want to do games, this is just about having fun. Like, go and be prepared to just, when they're looking for a volunteer, get up there and do it and have a good time and legitimately just enjoy yourself playing games for an hour and a half. And if there's any of them that you might ever want to be able to do, you now have them in your back pocket to keep in mind. Jake does a fantastic job. He brings a crew of people in to talk about and present different games that maybe you've never seen before, or putting a spin on ones that are maybe like a little tired out a little bit. You get a new spin on it. Then we have our first keynote happening at 2 o'clock, Z-Trip. Jim Tremaine is going to be, I thought he
was going to be kind of doing an interview question.
Yeah, he usually does. It's not listed here, but Z-Trip, I not personally know of him too much. Not my field. I'm sorry. I knew as soon as I said that MJ was going to give me a smack upside the head. Let me rephrase it. I've heard the name. That's about as far as it goes. How about that?
I mean, it's not like
it's been in movies. He's been in documentaries. He toured with LL Cool J.
I knew that.
Dude, albums.
It's not like the creator of Megaseg or anything. I mean, what do you?
All right. No, but with all seriousness, I will say, Jim, whether it's him or whether it's one of his people who does the Q&A and leads that, you learn a lot. And even if it's not a field that you're familiar with, even if it's not a field that you know, when you sit in on these Q&As, you learn a lot just about these people. I mean, these are people who have excelled at their craft, who are, either at the top of the game or who have been at the top of their game, and you get an opportunity to learn a lot about them and their road to how they got there. And it's definitely a good type of seminar to check out.
Mm-hmm.
Mitzvahs. All right. So Big Daddy last year was, if you don't know Big Daddy, you'll know him at the Expo. Pure and simple. Everybody loves Big Daddy. But with that being said, last year was like the passing of the guard for the mitzvahs. He was the one who really led the mitzvahs and put it on. And over the past couple of years, he's kind of gradually handed it off. Last year, he really handed it off. And so now Jordan, who's doing the Keeping It Cool one the day before, along with Adam Hirschhorn. Thank you. They're going to be leading it, and they do just a fantastic job. A lot of energy in the room. If you have never really done a mitzvah, you want to be in there, because it will either do one of two things. It will get you so excited that you can't wait to do them forever, or it will scare you away from them for life. Either way, it's a great learning experience.
Could be either.
It is. Reputation management, how you're going to take care of bad online reviews. And that's going to Jordan St. Jacques. He's back. That's the second one that he's doing. We've got Latin events. So if you're wanting to do that, Jack Bermeo is going to be back presenting on that. Jack is phenomenal. He won MJ Closier's DJ of the Year competition a couple years in a row, and just does a fantastic job. So he does Latin events, and that's one of his main staples. And we'll give you kind of the behind the scenes with that. And then Rob Peters is presenting 10 things, or another 10 things that you can do to improve your DJ business. So last year gave a lot of great tips, being able to kind of go forward with that. And he's come back with 10 new ones to present this year. And there's one more. Creating a sexy DJ brand. Can't talk suddenly. San Diego's DJ Stacy, she's going to be talking about that. How do you want to book more lucrative gigs? And going into that. It is a sponsored one, but still could be a great. Anything you want to talk about Expo floor?
So
other than the one topic that we got leaked and we kind of had to be cryptic about.
Yeah, we don't want to be cryptic anymore. And we'll move.
Are we done with the seminars?
No, that's
Tuesday.
It's for Tuesday. So then the exhibit hall is open from noon until 6 on Tuesday. From my personal standpoint, from 2 until 3, Michael, who is working on his set in back, is going to be going from 2 until 3 o'clock on Tuesday in the Denon booth using the Prime 4, which the Prime 4 has the new software update, which makes it so it can do some really cool things that we were asking for back at NAMM, and it is doing it and doing it well. So he's been, I think he's actually toying around with dumping the laptop completely, which surprises me. I didn't expect that from him.
Run the laptop with the Prime 4, can you?
Yeah, you can. But I mean, as far as even going away from virtual DJ.
No. As far as I know, unless they've changed it, the only one that takes a laptop right now is the SC5000. The SC5000M doesn't take a laptop, and the Prime 4 doesn't take a laptop.
Well, you can use the laptop as a source of music only right now, because it does. I don't think Serato or Virtual DJ are coded for it.
Yeah,
but they will be at some point in time this fall, because it's just up to depending upon when they're going to be ready. But he's liking the feel of the engine software that is, or whatever they have inside Prime, the Prime 4. He's been having some fun with that. So anyway, so that'll be Tuesday. I've got my Pioneer thing. Denon, or there should be the new Newmark controller we can look at on Thursday or Tuesday, and then it'll be a race between Rick Webb and myself to get to our rooms to go and edit and upload our video and see who's got the better internet connection. I'm not going to, he's younger. He's going to get to the room faster than I am, so I'm not going to put money on this one. It could be ugly.
Who can take Rick out for John?
Yeah, exactly. Quick, get me a wheelchair.
I decided this year I'm doing all my video and editing from the phone. So anything you're going to get from me this year, intro, everything is going to be done on the phone.
Oh,
so
that'll be interesting.
How it works out.
Yeah, that'll be very interesting.
Pre-made intros, pre-made outros, film something, shove it together, render it,
boom,
up the phone.
So Michael's from 2 until 3.
Yes.
MJ?
Wednesday.
And they just
thought it was
updated
Tuesday.
it. No, they just updated. I think I'm a half an hour earlier now. I think I'm 3:30 to 4:30. Before it was 4 to 5.
Yeah,
or something.
I think that's what happened with Michael also. Is went from,
Yeah, give me 10 seconds. I can tell you, because I usually with these things like this, I know how they go, and a lot of times it's not even good to look at a schedule until like 5 minutes before you're ready to go, because you never know what's because things change quickly. Someone doesn't show up. Someone maybe got a better gig or whatever like that. Who I can't even who's the person who sent that, John? I can't even think of it.
Nico.
Did I delete that? I hope I did.
He just sent a new one today. So
Yeah, it just came today. Yeah, I bet I moved that accidentally. But anyways, I'll go ahead, Dan. Talk. Give me 10 seconds. I'll tell you when exactly I'm on that.
So he's going to be doing Wednesday. I thought he was on Tuesday as well. But so Michael is doing 2 until 3. MJ is going to be sometime on Wednesday.
Shaney's going to be. She'll be spinning in the booth a variety of different times when MJ pulls it up. But I think she's doing Tuesday, Wednesday, and maybe even a spot on Thursday.
Yeah, she has a long set on Thursday.
Yeah,
I know that.
She's.
How do you, John? I can't even spell her name.
Just do a search for In Music Brands for the emails with In Music Brands. That's his emails from that. I don't remember because on the email.
Shaney's there. Shaney, drop it in the chat.
Yeah, there's Shaney.
Why don't I have this anywhere? I literally have nothing.
Yeah, and it's in the house on.
So,
anyways,
what we're talking about, obviously, when you want to make sure you're checking out the floor. This is the part that I was talking about. Make sure you're bringing your earplugs. Make sure you're prepared for that. Just because, again, every year they talk about we're going to try and keep a monitor on, or we're going to try and keep it. And what ends up happening is you have DJs that are spinning at booths that really have nothing to do with sound. And so now, so that this person gets heard and this person gets heard, of course, we got to turn it up. We can't turn it down so everybody can hear it. We got to turn it up. And so what ends up happening is then you get competing things. And if you're not careful, you're going to have a headache. So make sure you're bringing earplugs to be able to walk through the booths. And here's what I would also recommend. Even if it's a company you've never heard of, even if it's a company that you don't know much about, if you've got the time, stop and talk to them, get a feel for what their product is. Unless you're really sold on it suddenly, I wouldn't necessarily buy it like on the spot, do your research, but talk to them about what they've got and see what they have, because some of these companies, you'd be surprised, like you don't hear much about them. And then 6 months down the road, and suddenly everybody's talking about them. You're like, wait a minute, I think I heard of them at the Expo.
Yeah.
Or if you've talked to them, you might have that heads up a little bit earlier. And you're going to find some interesting booths, and you're going to find some that are not there this year. So.
Yeah, I'm very surprised about the one that you guys mentioned to me today that's not going to be there. And to me, I want to get both your opinions on how you feel. I mean, maybe you have some inside information why they're not going to be there, but how you feel that is a reflection to expos in general. That we found out that EV is not going to be there. They will not have a booth or representation there. Tell me, you guys, what you think on how that affects us, if any kind of why you think, all that kind of stuff.
Well, I think it's an indicator of the direction manufacturers are going. They're looking at where they're getting the best bang for their buck. And as much as we love our expos and we love our conventions, they are a dying breed. They are going to be going away at some point in time. Some sooner than others, but they will eventually all become a thing of the past, or they have to evolve into something else. So far, they haven't evolved. So we're going to see in 2020 2 shows go away. Their last shows will happen next year, 2020, and I think probably in 2022 we're going to see probably another one go away, and probably by 2030 the DJ conventions as we know it will be gone. Why Electro Voice made this decision? It's just a financial decision. They can come in there and they can do their thing and they can set up and they can spend tens of thousands of dollars, and it's multiple tens of thousands of dollars to be at these shows. Most shows cost them generally around in the six-figure area. 2 years ago, when they had Electro Voice had that cool little sound booth that they had in the middle of the floor, you guys probably remember that. That's not cheap to do, and that's a one-time use. Last year they had a nice private room upstairs and did their thing. It is just one of those situations where they've got to make that call of as far as how will they see a return on their investment. And we heard some people that didn't go to the Las Vegas event, and we've heard more people who are starting to they're not planning for 2020 in Las Vegas just because of the financial side of things. Shaney mentions NLFX won't be there either. They had announced earlier this year that they were done with DJ trade shows, so they haven't been to the typically there were 2 in the summer they went to, and then they went through some in the winter. They won't be hitting any of those anymore because times have changed.
It's crazy, and I think from our side we look at these shows and we're like, how is it costing 6 figures? I mean, but if you sit down and think about it, there's not only the cost to ship the product there, they've got the cost of a lot of these, or the casinos are unions, so they can't even bring their own equipment in. They have to now pay the guys to haul these or push these boxes into the room. They set them up. You've got your people that you're paying for while they're there. And then at the end of the day, they're shipping, the equipment out, especially if it's not stuff that sells. Now, sometimes they'll mark it down so they don't actually end up having to ship it, and they sell it as open box stuff. But legitimately, it costs a ton of money to do what they're doing. When you think about it, also they're from Monday until the end of the day on Thursday. And so, I see what they're saying. It's kind of disheartening from my standpoint because, I love the trade show for a lot of different reasons. And that, again, there's where the money is coming from for these conventions to happen. Our all access passes that get us into the seminars, as great as I love the seminars, that's not going to pay these places to stay open. It comes from the sponsoring of these other events, or the other side of the events. So we've got to figure out, they've got to figure out what's going to be best for them. And you can't fault them. A lot of them have pulled back there for a while because they were pushing more towards installs, like, houses of worship and things like that, and seeing where, okay, well, if we spend more money in that realm, it's going to be better for us. So
Rick mentions here, of course, that they need the shows need to evolve, which is certainly, if they're going to survive, they do. And they need to move out of these big city, these super expensive locations. Casinos are some of the worst, as Dan was mentioning, union. Just for those, to give you guys, if you're not familiar with how this works, is that if I have my booth, and my booth has to be shipped up on pallets, which many of them do. Well, the union, there's a fee to receive it. Then there's a fee to move it across the threshold. There's a fee to bring it into the room. Now, if I have some gear that has to be set up, like trussing and lighting, there has to be union people involved with that, with the lifts and different things. It's not uncommon for a booth, like say maybe a 4x4 booth in Las Vegas, as an example, to have a fee of somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000 of union fees to move things in and to set things up if you've got hanging things. It's generally the rule of thumb is if you can carry it in, you don't have to pay the union fee. So if you have to use a cart, 2-wheel cart, 4-wheel cart, what have you, then you have to pay the union people to do that because they will not let you pull your own rock and roller cart into the room, which obviously takes the costs up tremendously.
Mm-hmm. Was actually talking to someone the other night about that new product that we're not allowed to talk about from Pioneer. And he was wondering if they'll have it for sale there. And he's like, well, why wouldn't they have it for sale there? And I'm like, well, you have to think about the cost it's going to cost them to ship all of them there. And if they don't sell all of them, then that costs them to ship it back. I said, so there's more of a chance that they would sell it there and ship it to you the next day than actually have physical units for sale there. I'm not saying they won't, but there's a chance that if that's something you want, you can take some money, but I'm going to doubt you're going to walk home with that this weekend.
And they might have some, I doubt. I think it may not be under glass like we had last year.
I really, they're giving one away. I hope it's not under glass.
Yeah, from what I understand, it's going to be very hands-on. It's because it's ready to go from everything that I understand. So
we won't have that. But you mentioned the whole idea of them shipping it in, having to ship it back out. Generally, what they do is because of their local dealers that they have, is that they'll make a deal. And here's where NLFX couldn't do this type of thing. An IDJ Now will be there, or a Canal Sound and Lighting, and they will say, okay, we're going to buy 100 of these controllers, and they will ship all 100 to the show. Pioneer would, as an example, bad example maybe, but anyway, they'll ship them there, and then they'll have a great show special price on them. And if they can sell all 100, then Canal or IDJNL doesn't have any to take back. If they don't, now they have inventory that they take back to their shop. So that's one way they can get around that shipping thing. But again, when NLFX crews coming in from Bemidji, Minnesota, they don't have that ability to then pack things up and take them back home as inexpensively. So there's additional costs for them.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. So I think, and then of course Tuesday night. So first and foremost, chill event. That's where you need to be. 8 o'clock. But so while we're talking about, there are some other things that are happening Tuesday night. There is the Bose party that is happening at
9. Shaney, what time's the Bose party? Shaney's going to be spinning.
I like how you guys said that, to 9.
In a
No.
Okay.
Let's see, 10 o'clock is, oh no, that's the premiere party at Borgata. There's one at Eden's Lounge, the PV party at 6:30. Oh, here it is. 9:30 is the Bose party.
Okay, is that when it starts or ends?
Starts.
Okay.
Because I think if I remember correctly, Shaney is going on at 11.
Holy
For
cats.
that. I remember it was a little bit later. But the Bose party is going to have pizza. PV is doing a party, and hopefully they learned not to try and give alcohol away this year. For those of you who didn't hear it, they promised open bar, and it was gone in 5 minutes. Because they didn't actually have an open bar. They had a tab to a certain level, and it ran out immediately. But yeah, in the Premier nightclub, there is, oh, that's Scribble. But I thought, oh wait, that's Monday night. That was my problem. I was looking at the wrong night. There is something going on in Borgata on Tuesday night as well for BPM Supreme.
Yes, which I want to go to so badly because I'm going to name names that you guys are really like who. But Cubert's going to be there. Z-Trip's going to be there.
Chris Carnes.
Rogers is going to be there. Chris Carnes. And a Pittsburgh DJ who has competed many times in the Red Bull 3 Styles is ADMC. He's one of BPM's guys. So if you follow any of the BPM stuff on Facebook, he's always doing routines for them. I'm hoping to make it over there because I've never met Z-Trip or Cubert. So that's one of my goals this year. I know you guys like some of your, presenters who do the seminars, but I like to meet some of these guys. And those are 2 DJs I've not met yet. So
I will say Cubert's a really cool guy. I had the fortunate coincidence of riding in an elevator. So the day after he did a performance for the Expo, this was years ago, he actually did one of the nights or whatever. And so like the next day, like we're both going down the elevator. I was like, "You're Cubert." It was like one of those because it was one of those things like you walk in, you're like, "Wait a minute. You're Cubert." And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Hey, I'm Dan." And it was just like, so we had, just the short ride or whatever. I said, "Hey, I loved your routine last night." I said, "It was awesome." I said, I said, you were battling the issues because there were some technical issues that year. I said, "You handled them." I said that was awesome. So he was very down to earth, very, very approachable. I don't know if it'll be the same at the Borgata, but if you happen to be in an elevator with him, there you go.
Cool.
That's cool.
We didn't.
So I'll tell you what. Do you want to pound through Wednesday, or is there more we want to talk about Tuesday?
I think we're pretty much done with Tuesday. And is there anything that let's just highlight a couple of things on Wednesday, and because we're already at an hour here.
Yeah, I saw the time. I was like, oh my gosh. So real quick, starting things off 10 o'clock. So normally a lot of seminars don't start this early. This year they're having a bunch that are starting in that earlier hour. Nick Spinelli is doing something along with Rachel Lynch, 2 people that know what they're talking about with brands. It's the New Jersey Disc Jockey Network meeting, but it is open to everybody. So don't feel like, oh, I'm not a member, I can't go. Yes, you can go, enjoy it. If you're close enough, you want to become a member, they'll gladly take you. And there's a little plug for that, but most of the time is spent hearing great content. Eric Wenning, strategies how to increase leads and sales at bridal shows. That's 12:30 to 2. You'll notice there's a little bit lighter even on the seminars down on this day as well. Yeah. Joe Bunn is doing something as well. His is from 1:30 to 2:30. It's a sponsored one, but it doesn't sound like it's a product one, if that makes sense. Like there's a group that's presenting it, but not necessarily it's about their product. Photo booth one, definitely, if you're looking to make some more money with your photo booths, you want to check that out. Keynotes, ADJ. So a little bit more on the sponsored area. And then Mark Reneisen, from New York. I love Mark. He's a great guy, and he knows stuff, and he's not afraid to just try something new. And he's got a seminar this year. I think it's going to be a lot of great topics. He's got questions that he presented to different brides, and he's going to be giving those and showing that at the expo, and that's from 4 until 5. A couple other ones. This stuff is up at thedjexpo.com. That's all I'm going to run with that. There's one that I'm sure is going to have a lot of people there.
Yeah. Go ahead. It's the Gentleman's Club one.
Yeah. If you want to know how to be a Gentleman's Club DJ, there is a seminar this year about how to do that, and there is even a practice session. So they're touting it in some ways almost like a workshop.
And in the gentleman's session, they're going to teach you how to tie your tie, how to make sure the silverware is put on the proper side of the plate, and how to open doors for your date. Pretty sure. Gentlemen, isn't that what gentlemen do?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Gentlemen's club. It's a club of gentlemen.
It's a club of gentlemen who open doors for people. It'll be great. No one will go in because everyone's opening the door for everyone else. But hey, it'll be great. It's a great club. Why didn't the club succeed? Well, no one came in. They just stood outside opening the door for each other. Okay.
So that's Wednesday. Wednesday night, more parties. This is the kind of like, it's weird because even though this goes till Thursday, this is the closing party, happens on Wednesday night. It is also the Entertainer of the Year party. So they did listen to MJ eventually and change the name last year. But that goes from 8 until 11. Now here's the key thing. This is not going to be held in Harris. This is going to be across the street at the club in the Golden Nugget. And I forget the name of the club though. It's called the club.
It's like miles away.
Yeah, it's really not that far.
It is a little bit of a walk. I mean, it's not horrible or anything, but across the street's not like walking to my neighbor's house right over here, that kind of thing. Of course, my neighbor is a quarter mile away. What am I talking about? Not like walking to MJ's neighbor's house.
And then, of course, after all that's said and done, you want to make sure you go back to Eden Lounge where the parties were at on Tuesday night in Harris, and Scribble's doing his party that just basically goes until he runs out of energy. I mean, it's insane. If you've not seen him do his thing, this is another one of those things that's a highlight of the expo every year, just to see this guy perform and do his thing. And I will say, it's funny. I enjoy his sets. But it's almost like the beginning is like, okay, I'm feeling everything out. Wait like half an hour, 45 minutes, and then he's just hitting it and hitting it and hitting it all night long. And it's really cool what this guy does. Yeah. That's Wednesday.
Excellent.
Thursday, just so you know, okay, it does go till Thursday. Thursday is more about the showroom floor than it is anything else. There is technically one seminar.
Yep, just the one that we see as of right now.
Yeah, just the one. Again, Jordan St. Jacques, I talked about, he's doing 4 different ones. His 4th one, how influencer marketing can improve your DJ business. That's his topic. Again, that's the only thing though that's on Thursday as far as seminars are concerned. So the big thing is the showroom floor. A lot of your manufacturers, if they have anything left, this is when they're going to blow it out. This is when they're going to try and get it so they don't have to ship it back. So they're going to give you that extra special deal. However, don't wait until Thursday with the idea that, well, I'm just going to wait and get the great deal, because if it's gone, you're not getting that great deal.
That happened to me, was it 2 or 3 years ago? There was something I waited until just before I left, and they were like, yeah, it's gone. Okay, great. Can you ship me one? And can I order it? And no, it was only things here at the show. So if there's something there, make sure you ask it, if nothing else, to say, hey, can I order it if it's all sold out? And if they say nope, then it's time to get Dan's checkbook.
No, you're not getting Dan's checkbook.
Idea,
Dan's wife
idea,
would be
bad
very,
idea.
very mad. But yeah, so that's Thursday. And of course, the big giveaway that they do on Thursday. I will say this is the other tip that I'm going to give. I love the fact they do the giveaway. You have to be present to win. That's the one thing you got to keep in mind. I personally never stick around for the giveaway because I know if I do, then I'm in traffic in Philly, and I just don't want to have to deal with that. So a lot of great deals can be had on Thursday, but really you're going to be walking around the expo floor. A lot of your manufacturers by that point are just like, we're tired, we're worn out. So you're not going to get a lot of the same energy you would from Tuesdays and Wednesdays presentations in the showroom floor. But in the same respect, if you're looking for deals, Thursdays where you're going to get them if they have the product left. So that's the show.
That
and then
is.
there's nothing after the giveaway. Like everybody just
ghost
gets-
town becomes
Get out.
one of the most depressing things at a DJ convention is 1 hour after it's done. Everybody's gone. The fun and excitement and energy you've had for the last 3 or 4 days in the hallway is completely gone. And if you run into someone in the hall, they like ignore you like they're, well, they do this to me anyway, but they ignore, it's like you're completely your stranger. And there's just all that camaraderie, all that, oh, we're here and it's exciting. We're in Atlantic City. Yeah, an hour afterwards, it's like you and the old people going over there to the 4:00 bingo thing. It's great. It's great.
Lunch buffet. Here we come.
Yeah, I was gonna get that senior citizen discount going on here.
There was a tip that I was going to give in there, and I forget what it was now. So a couple tips. This is just general tips for those of you that have kind of your first time out. The phrase is don't eat alone. Okay. And what I mean by that is there are so many people that you can meet there, you can talk to, people that, like us, that you see that are there. You've known us from that standpoint, but there's going to be a lot of people that are, that go to these every year. And this is the only time they see some of these people. So you might be like, well, I can't go up and talk to them. Go up and talk to them. All right. And be respectful. Obviously, if they're in a conversation, don't just go, hey, and like interrupt, but don't eat alone. Don't be afraid to say, hey, let's go grab a bite to eat. I'd love to chew your ear. If it's somebody that you really respect, somebody that you want to talk more with, take some extra bucks along and buy them a meal. My very first time, there was a couple guys that I had known from like Facebook groups and was just like, okay. And I didn't take the extra money along, but it was one of those things I was like, hey, let's go have a bite to eat. And they're like, yeah, sure, let's go. And we walked over, and I still remember sitting down with Alan Dodson at Johnny Rockets. And when it was all said and done, we talked shop like the whole night, and we got done, and they brought the check over. So I got it. It was almost like I was paying for like a one-on-one with him. But by buying his meal, I got to pick his ear for a while, and it was totally worth it. I mean, you're going to meet so many people at the expo. And don't be afraid to keep in touch, share contact information. There's guys that I've only ever met at the expo, and I now talk to them, weekly, if not daily sometimes. And so I really recommend just chew the fat with them and buy them a meal and just enjoy time with them. And likewise, conversations that happen in the hallway sometimes are just as golden as happening in the seminar. That's one of the reasons why that hangout that we've developed on Monday night, MJ took the idea and ran with it. And we've kind of kept it going of just this idea of talking, because you get that extra thing from just sharing ideas among each other. Hey, I tried this and it worked, or I tried this and, oh, but you know what? Have you ever thought about tweaking it that way? No, I didn't think about that. And suddenly now you have an idea that you took and you're now able to turn it into something golden for you. Don't be afraid to have those conversations and make use of them and make friendships and run with them. There's my last tip, I think.
Excellent.
Whew.
You mentioned take lots of mints, breath mints.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, take breath
Water
mints.
and breath mints are very important.
I would recommend having some ibuprofen or something that you take when you've been on your feet too long.
Or if you had too much the night before.
Bag to carry all the swag in, right? Or they may give away swag bags that you can put more swag.
There probably will be some bags, plastic bags somewhere, and there's always the show bag. So if you grab a show bag in here,
yes, which is not to be confused with Chauvet.
Show bag, yeah, exactly. A little bit different enunciation qualities.
I'm losing it now. I haven't been on here in a while with anybody else. I do all my shows by myself. I don't know how to react. So I apologize if I talk too much tonight. I apologize if I commented out of line, but it was nice to hang out with you guys again.
Yeah. That was fun, and we'll be able to do some more things next week. Yay!
Yeah. So what I would recommend for all of you, this isn't a tip, this is just in relation to what John was just saying. Make sure if you somehow stumbled upon tonight's show, but you're not a member of the Insider, if you're not on the email blast, make sure you go to djntv.com/insider, because you want to make sure, if nothing else, you sign up for the free emails. Of course, you want the membership, but at the very least, sign up for the free emails so that you know when we're going to be going live from the show. Because what John will do is he'll shoot out an email and be announcing it. Follow us on Facebook. We'll share it as well, and give you an opportunity to know when those things are happening, so you can get in on it and tune in, and we'd love to have you tune in from the expo. And nothing says you can't.
They can. That would be so awesome. They could bring up their phone, tuning in to our show being broadcast live, space, time, continuum.
I actually think Rick Webb did that last year when you and I were doing our thing. He was either across or it was somebody else but I thought it was him. That was either like just like around the corner, and he knew what we were doing. So he was just like watching it on his phone while we're in the other room.
I'm going to do a broadcast this year of Rick doing a broadcast of you guys doing a broadcast.
Nice. Space time continuum.
It's like that mirror thing. Like
Exactly. That's what it will be.
All right, Dan, take us home.
So we've given you a lot of great information tonight. So thank you very much for taking the time to join in. Hopefully you tuned in because you're wanting to go to the expo, but if you're tuning in just to see and have some laughs, thank you for that as well. Some great information throughout the rest of this week. And of course, as some products do get revealed to the point that we can talk about them, MJ is going to have those videos for you, and we'll be sharing them because that's just MJ and that's how cool he is. So make sure you're doing that. We will see you all next week. Of course, one last thing, don't forget the chill event Tuesday night. We'll see you at the Irish Pub. Free event, free parking, great drink specials, food, the whole 9 yards. You have a wonderful evening. Good night.
Bye, everybody.